There's also a chance, he says, that it could hit a $3 trillion market cap by the end of that year. And for more, let's bring him in. He's here on set with me. Dan Ives is Wedbush Global Head of Technology Research. Welcome.
Great to be here.
You could have picked an easier one, maybe Nvidia. Like, why Tesla to you? Is it still so clear? For all the ups and downs, for the auto industry, for all of its ambitions, everything they want to do is always delayed. Granted, the market cap, is still phenomenal. Why do you think why do you feel so strongly that 2026 will be a great year?
I think it's about autonomous. I mean, when it comes to physical AI, I think there's nothing better, when it comes to physical AI than Nvidia and Tesla. And I think this is going to be a golden chapter for Tesla. When
Physical AI.
When it comes to robotaxis, when it comes to cyber cabs, volume production, true autonomous, and of course you look at robotics in terms of Optimus. I mean, Kelly, that's why I think we're looking at $2 trillion, ultimately probably a $3 trillion market cap by late 2026, early 2027. That's why it continues to be one of our top picks.
What's the So, you think about a market cap that big. You say, okay, it's a high multiple. I don't know what exactly the earnings look like. What are you anticipating on that front? And how does physical AI kind of feed directly into the earnings power it might have? I
mean, when I look out the next 3-4 years, I think earnings power is 4x, 5x. But because it's my view that when you think about not just the FSD piece, but in terms of true autonomous, it's going to change the whole margin profile. It changes the whole growth story. And I think just going forward for Tesla, the focus, it's, okay, deliveries, they matter. Of course they matter. But in terms of the next few years, especially Musk now, wartime CEO, in terms of pay package, as that's already cemented, this is just the start. And they're also going to have an ownership of XAI. You look what's happened in SpaceX. I mean, I think we're now talking about this next AI chapter that's happened across the Musk ecosystem.
We had Dan Primack on last week, and he said, I basically asked him, or he said the question to ask is, why is SpaceX going public now? Do you think there's anything related to financial pressure on Tesla or Musk or anything like that? Or is it a political? Why would 2026 be the year for SpaceX?
I think the time's right. I mean, you could argue valuation, right? Does it approach $1 trillion? It's the same reason why does Anthropic or ultimately when you look at OpenAI and others. I mean, we're hitting at a point where it's only year 3 of an 8 to 10 year build out in terms of the AI revolution. And for the first time in 30 years, I mean, you've talked about this, U.S. is ahead of China when it comes to tech. But SpaceX is in an inflection point. I think it's important that it goes public. It's the right time. And look, we are in, I think, 2 more years in this tech bull market, and we're going to see more and more of these great private companies going public.
Won't SpaceX be, if you'll pardon the term, sexier than Tesla? In other words, right now, if you are a big fan of Elon Musk and everything he's doing and the future as described, this is the only public equity you can own for that story. Now, SpaceX could be the newer, younger thing on the block. What if investors go with that and thus remove some of the halo, right, the community effect around those who hold shares of Tesla and support its valuation just to have a piece of Musk?
Yeah, it's a great point. Look, I actually think it expands. I mean, to some extent, the ecosystem from SpaceX to Tesla and ultimately what's going to be the ownership of XAI. Because the reality is when you think about what's happening here, I mean, we're talking about the next 5, 10, 15 years. Musk at the centerpiece of it. But I think it speaks to when it comes to Tesla, that continues to be the best play because I think autonomous is worth $1 trillion alone. You think about Optimus in terms of true robotics. And as this all plays out, I think globally, I mean, they can own 70, 80% of the autonomous market, globally over the coming years.
I know you think that full self-driving penetration could be as high as 50%. In other words, half the people who buy a Tesla pay the extra money to have that option, which would be, as you say, a game changer for margins and for the stock. So that's part of what you're talking about is for those who own Teslas, they use this technology. The other part is the cyber cab, what's it called?
Yep.
And how would you describe its position in this vis-a-vis Waymo, where Waymo also does quite well. The car's really expensive, regulatory and otherwise. What should we expect on the cyber cab front from Tesla?
Well, first, FSD, you're going to go from penetration 15% to 50%, and I think it could even be higher. So from a margin perspective, that's going to be huge. Look, Waymo is going to be a rounding error relative to what Tesla's going to do, I think not just in the U.S., but I think globally. Look, it speaks to just how expensive those cars are, how they could scale. And I think when you think about autonomous and in terms of the roadmap, I mean, we would expect probably some sort of executive order, going into early next year, where I think it's going to clear in terms of the federal roadmap. I mean, more and more you're going to go away from the states to federal, and that's going to be extremely important for Tesla in terms of where I think they could take robotaxi.